What is going on, you goofy goober? I'm Charles, and this is Today I'm Obsessed With, the show where we tell you what I'm obsessed with today, and hopefully you get an obsession and something to have fun with, because that's what this channel is all about. Having fun. And depression. And having no friends. And trying to validate your existence by getting YouTube followers. And anxiety. And with that said, let's just jump into it. And before we begin, I don't know if you noticed, but this is my friend Lil D. That stands for Lil Dumbass. I mean, look. Just look at him. That is the face of, that is an adorable face. That is the face of someone that has committed more war crimes than I can count, and I forgive him. That is, God, he's cute. Just put you right there, Lil D. Hang tight, buddy. So now, let's actually jump into it. Starting us off with TV shows, on Friday, The Boys released another new episode, and I gotta say, I'm really excited to see where this season ends up, because it is getting brutal. It is getting insane, and I am here for it. And you can just see, oh my, it's just so good. I don't want to spoil anything, so I won't, but if you haven't seen The Boys, then go ahead and check it out. New episodes come out every Friday. Also, check out our video, The Boys Season 1 Explained, but really bad. You'll get a kick out of it, especially if you've seen the first season of The Boys. Also, we got the news last week that South Park will be coming back very soon for the quarantine special. I could not be more excited for this. South Park has been gone for about a year now, and I'm pretty interested to see where they're gonna take everything that's happened with 2020 so far, because it's insane. Everything that's happened with 2020 so far is just been insane and crazy, and there's been a lot of deaths, a lot of madness happening, so I'm really interested to see what South Park will do with that, because they got so much material to go off of. South Park, of course, is one of the, I would say South Park is, of course, one of the, I would say that South Park is one of the inspirations behind like how we do things on this channel, from the production cycle of 1 week to put out an episode, to the crappy animation, but the really funny jokes and stuff that they tell. South Park is definitely a inspiration to this channel in that sense. Also, I would be willing to bet any amount of money that Eric Cartman is gonna be like an anti-masker. Like, I would bet almost any amount of money that he's gonna be an anti-masker, or he's gonna like try and throw a big party, and maybe Kyle will be the only person that he invites. Oh, you know what? No, I would bet that Cartman is gonna try and give Kyle the coronavirus, and Kenny's probably gonna die from the coronavirus now that I think about it. That'll be pretty funny. Gas! The coronavirus is awesome! We don't have to go to school! Also, I hear Kyle has the coronavirus! I do not, fat ass! Shut up, Kenny! Speaking of older adult animated comedies, over the last week, I've gotten really into Futurama. Like, they have the whole catalog on Hulu, and I've just been binge watching the heck out of it, and I gotta say, as a kid, I like Futurama for how like weird and different it is, but as an adult, Jesus, that show is so sharp. It is so funny. It's so good. Like, all the jokes are tagged constantly. Like, there's like 5 jokes like every like 10 seconds. It's so witty. Oh my God, it's just great. And what I love about it is also, it not only does it make you feel like, you know, really good adult animated shows can and should do, but it's actually an adult comedy, you know? It's not like Family Guy where it's an adult comedy where it's like, oh, we got lots of like swearing and sex and gore and grossness. Like, it's not like that where it's just gross for the sake of being gross. It uses its adultness to elevate the humor and the situations, and I just love it so much. I've gotten obsessed with this one scene in this one episode where Fry seemingly dies from a bee sting, and they have this really great funeral scene for him where everybody's like selling these really funny jokes, but it's also like super sad. And I'm not gonna lie, at the end of that scene, there's this guy from the cryogenics lab who goes, "Goodbye from the world of tomorrow." And I'm not gonna lie to you, that kind of breaks me, and I don't know why. Like, that whole scene is just so sad and so memorable. Futurama is just such a great show. If you haven't watched it lately, then please go watch it. Zoidberg is freaking hilarious. Goodbye from the world of tomorrow. God, it's so good. And before I wrap up this part, I want to go ahead and give a quick mention to Star Trek Lower Decks. That show is, wow, it's got that Futurama factor to it, I feel. Like, so many things about it would seem generic, like the kind of jokes that they tell, the animation style, but trust me, you gotta check out the show. It is super funny. It's got some pretty witty jokes and some really likable characters. I especially love the green girl. I can't remember her name at the moment. She is adorable. She is so cute. Am I a greenie now? Like, what's the word for that? 'Cause like furries, you know, and you got scalies who like lizards and alligators. Am I a greenie now? Am I a Kirk? Is that what I am? I just like alien women now. The two leads are pretty cool too. Like, they've got that odd couple dynamic going, but they're actually pretty fun to watch. Especially the girl. She is awesome. I'm pretty sure her name is like Henson Mariner. She is awesome. They say it like a dozen times in the show that she's a badass, and she's a badass. She kind of reminds me of Vash the Stampede from Trigun, and there's a lot of different characters in anime like that where it's like they seem really goofy and lazy, but it turns out that they're actually just like really good at what they do, and that whole goofiness just really disarms people, and I really enjoy that. I can't wait to see where the show goes. Gosh, it's just a really cool show. Go check it out. And now on to our next section, movies. I have been just in love with a lot of movies recently, but I'm going to keep it brief, as brief as I can while geeking out. Let's kick this off with Jojo Rabbit. I think Jojo Rabbit came out like last year or the year before, and I think it got like Oscar nominations and stuff. It was like really popular. It is like, it's just wow. It's so good. It starts off really quirky and fun, and even though, you know, the lead is a German soldier in the 1940s, you know, a little 12-year-old boy, and he's a Hitler fanatic, and it's just this really funny movie that becomes really heartfelt, and it makes you feel things. I can't really talk about it without giving up too much, but please just go watch it. I feel like this is the first movie I've seen with Scarlett Johansson in it that I was just like really in love with her performance. Like, she is so good in this. Sam Rockwell, a really underrated actor, gives in a really killer performance in this as like a general slash troop leader, and he delivers probably one of the scenes in the movie that had me crying the most. And he's a really likable guy, especially for a German soldier in the 1940s. It's such a good movie. If you feel like 2020 has really had you down and, you know, you just given up in humanity, watch it, because this movie would really restore your faith in people and make you just feel all kinds of complicated and good emotions. If you want to mostly laugh without really feeling too much, then I would say check out Idiocracy. It was on HBO Max, but I think they just took it off. I've never actually seen it before I watched it on HBO Max, but dang, Idiocracy is funny. I feel like Idiocracy is one of those rare movies that has gotten more relevant and better with time. If you've never heard of Idiocracy, it's a movie where this guy he's like an average dude who no one understands. They put him in a pod that's supposed to put him to sleep for a year, but an accident happens, and him and Maya Rudolph end up getting sent like, I think it was like 500 years in the future. And because of modern culture, basically people kept progressively getting stupider and stupider. And the movie explained this by saying, like, basically stupid people have more babies. They don't say that stupid is purely genetic. They also give it to, you know, behaviors like, obviously people who are less responsible and have a lot of kids without really thinking of the consequences aren't really gonna be there for their kids or teach them, and they're gonna keep doing bad things and not really think about the consequences. Basically that snowballs to where there's more people that are irresponsible that outweigh the responsible people, and that ends up like almost killing off the human population of the planet in 500 years. And I say that is probably more relevant now than when it came out because of 2020, where, you know, all we had to do was wear masks to not be in a horrible situation, and yet here we are. People keep partying and refusing to wear masks and hosting anti-mask protests. And I feel like this movie is not only really funny, but God, it's just so relevant now. Idiocracy, check it out. And the last movie I'm obsessed with today is Blazing Saddles, a comedy classic that I had never seen before a couple weeks ago, and I can see why it is a comedy classic. Take what I said about Futurama, where it's got this wit and charm, and just multiply that by just like Mel Brooks's trademark goofiness and fourth wall breaking, and you have Blazing Saddles. It's so good. It is so funny. I actually have a soft spot for Westerns, but more specifically Westerns that are a twist or a take on the Western genre, like Cowboys and Aliens, Rango, Django Unchained. It sounded like I was rapping for a second there. Cowboys and Aliens, Rango, Django. It's about a black sheriff in a Western town back in like the 1800s, and it is so stupidly funny and witty. To kind of quote Mel Brooks in an article I read about Blazing Saddles, his thought process behind the comedy and jokes of Blazing Saddles was this: when it comes to like making jokes about people, you don't punch down, you punch up. You don't go against people who are already being kicked down by the world, because that's not funny. When you punch up, it's funny. It's, you know what I mean? There's really no skin off of anybody's backs, and everybody can just have a good time. He said that's why he didn't really care for like Andrew Dice Clay, or he was saying like he thinks that's why people didn't really like Andrew Dice Clay, was because Andrew Dice Clay usually punched down. Like he would punch down hard on like, you know, refugees and like women, and this watching the movie you really see that thought process come through, because even though there's definitely, you know, profane language, it is done in that like just right way. And funny enough, while people focus on that profane language, that's actually not even most of the movie. Most of the movie is just straight up really good gags and bits and jokes. If you want to know if Blazing Saddles is for you, then watch the KKK scene, because the KKK scene the KKK scene is probably my favorite part in that movie, and it might, like, in a few years, that might be my favorite scene in any movie. And I can't, oh my God, it's, I refuse to tell you what the joke is, because that might ruin it, but for those of you who have seen Blazing Saddles, I'm gonna give you this. And for my next impression, Jesse Owens. The guy who plays Black Bart and Gene Wilder are so good together. Their chemistry is phenomenal. I am honestly surprised that Mel Brooks didn't have Gene Wilder and him in a movie together again, because their chemistry is magical. I feel like they really could have been one of those like famous comedy duos. That's how great their chemistry is, and it's just such a great time. Like I said, it's a lot of fun, so go check out Blazing Saddles. It's on HBO Max right now. Hashtag HBO Max sponsor the show. Now I'm gonna tell you how you can get yourself some free slides, and you basically have to do almost nothing. After these messages, we'll be right back. Whoa! If you don't follow me on Instagram, you might not know that I actually do custom shoes as a side business to help fund this channel. And to say thank you guys for all your support and watching us and everything, I'm actually giving away a pair of slides this Friday as a way to say thank you to you guys. The way to enter the contest to get yourself a free pair of custom slides, all you have to do is tell 2 of your friends to subscribe to the channel and leave a comment of your YouTube username. We're gonna randomly pick the winner from whose name is down in the comment section. Now, remember, they do have to be subscribed to the channel, but there is no limit on how many friends say your name down in the comments. For every 2 comments, that's 1 entry, and I'm just gonna randomly select one of those people to receive some really cool custom slides. For this giveaway, I'm thinking of doing a pair of slides that have a cartoon duo on them. Like for these, I did Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy from SpongeBob. And for these next pair of slides, I'm thinking of either doing Futurama, Fry and Bender, or the Fairly Odd Parents. Futurama would probably fit really well for this video since I've already talked about it, but we'll figure that out. The point is, make sure you guys enter this contest because I would love to give you guys some really cool slides. And obviously, you could make another account and just comment your own name, but for the love of God, please don't. Be fair. If you like this channel, then play fair, because this also helps us get more viewers, and more viewers helps us put out more and better content for you guys. All right, and now we're on to the music that I've been obsessed with over the last week. I've recently been obsessed with the song by this guy, Vito. I think it's called You Got It. It is a really nice little R&B sounding song. It's really chill but passionate sounding, and it's a really nice sound and a great time. If you get a second, you should go on YouTube and listen to the Newfangled Fours All-Star by Smash Mouth a cappella. It's a barbershop quartet rendition of All-Star by Smash Mouth, and I know that doesn't sound very cool, but I cannot do how cool this is justice by just telling you about it. Those guys not only have such beautiful voices, but they also inject this bit of personality and comedy into All-Star by Smash Mouth, which is already a really nice and fun song. And it's just a really good time. Go listen to that. I've also gotten really into You'll Be Back from Hamilton, another funny but really nice sounding song. I'm not really a Hamilton fanatic, but I can definitely see why people are Hamilton fanatics just by You'll Be Back. It's a really nice song. Go check that out. And speaking of funny songs, this.
And now it's time for Silly Songs with Gary, the part of the show where Gary comes out and sings a silly song. Today's song is What I Did Today in Quarantine. Let me tell you about my day. Netflixing the hours away. And then I got really bored. So I beat my meat. Then I played a game of Apex. I played it on my sofa. Then I took one good look at Loba. And then I beat my meat. And then I started to clean. I even read a book, it was interesting. And then I started to praise Jesus. No, I'm just kidding, I beat my meat.
I know I'm really dumb and immature for that, but I couldn't help myself. I got the idea earlier today. I thought that might be pretty funny. The last thing we're going to talk about today is gaming. The things that I've been obsessed with in gaming. One thing that's been super popular over the last couple of weeks has been Among Us. This game where it's basically like Spyfall, where there's one or two imposters amongst a group of people, but in this game you have to do all these different tasks and you guys vote on who it is, and I do not like this game. I know this is probably the one negative thing I'm gonna say in this whole video, but I just find it really boring. Maybe it's the look of it, maybe it's, the gameplay, but I played it, I played it on a few different times, and I'm just not getting into it. My brother actually really loves it. Him and his friends have literally stayed up all night playing it and talking over Discord, and he says it's super fun with friends, and I don't have those. So maybe maybe someone like me just can't enjoy it, but I've heard that it's really popular, so maybe if you have a few friends to play with it, go check it out. But a lot of people love it, so obviously there's got to be something to it, so check it out if you haven't already. Another thing that I'm really interested in is the Oculus Quest 2. You guys may not know this about me, but I am just like super into VR. I got myself an Oculus Quest last year, and I've had a lot of fun with it, a lot of cool experiences. There's definitely been some improvements that could have been made, and I am so excited that it seems like a lot of those problems have been fixed in the Oculus Quest 2, which has been announced, and I think it's going on pre-ordered October 13th or something like that. In any case, I am way too excited for this thing. recently I've gotten super into poker VR. It's basically it's literally just a game where you play VR poker, and I think that's so funny. Like, I have probably logged more hours in the last 2 weeks in poker VR than I have in any other game in VR, which is really funny when you think about what kind of games are on the Oculus Quest. There is a game where you are a Jedi fighting Darth Vader. There's a game where you're basically an action movie hero that gets to jack up a bunch of guys, and time only moves when you do. So you get to dodge bullets and hit them with guns and bottles and do all this different stuff. Games where you can climb the highest mountains and float in zero gravity. And I choose to play poker. That's like gaining the power of flight and going to the gas station. Oh, looks like we're out of milk. Up, up, and away! Like, that's such a waste of the potential, but it's so fun. Poker VR has been probably the most social interaction I've gotten in the last few months, and it's really fun and chill, and I've gotten to learn poker, which is something I've always wanted to learn to play. If you have an Oculus Quest already, then check out Poker VR. Again, I'm not sponsored, but I probably should be. But if you don't have an Oculus, then please wait to get yourself an Oculus Quest 2, because not only is it more powerful than the current Oculus Quest, but it's actually $200 cheaper than the original Oculus Quest, starting at $299. So if you want to check that out and you want to have a good time with VR, then please wait till the Oculus Quest 2 comes out. And I think that's where we're going to cut today's show. Thank you so much for watching all the way to the end. Please, 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 do not forget to enter our contest. I really want to give you guys these slides. Please go ahead and enter our contest, and make sure you guys are keeping an eye out for our logo in the thumbnails, because that way you know it is one of our videos. This Friday, Interdimensional Cable 3 will be coming out. We had a bit of delay on it from last week because I had to write a script and make sure I go over it just to make sure I give you guys the best video that I can. And honestly, I'm pretty excited to bring you guys this. It's funny. I think it's funnier than I expected it to be, for it just being me writing it. So I'm really excited to know what you guys think about it. It should be coming out this Friday, and we'll be keeping this consistent schedule. Next Monday, we'll have another one of these kinds of shows. So just remember, Mondays and Fridays, you're hanging out with Procrastination Classroom and watching our videos, having a great time, and I will see you on Friday. Thank you so much, and I'll see you here Friday at the back of the Procrastination Classroom.